Sheila and Guy had admittedly become addicted to Pokemon Go. So much so that Sheila used all her sick days calling in so she could dedicate all of her time to the game. Guy wasn't as bad, but he was on day 4 of the same underwear. While they were out one night, they ran into a group of friends doing the same. It was Guy's friend pointed out that Sheila had wandered off behind Guy about 20 feet and was leaning down and trying to scoop up air, turning and scooping. The oddest part was that her eyes were closed. Guy and his friends exchange a look and he walks up to her and says, honey, what are you doing? She stops, stands up straight, eyes closed, mumbling to herself. Hey, you need your phone back, honey? She stops mumbling and noticingly pees all over herself. Are you okay? What's going on? Guy's friend says, dude, how long have you guys been out here? Guy looks at her, looks at his friend, and says, a while. So his friend says, maybe you should take her home, man. She doesn't look right. While sitting on the couch with her eyes still closed, Sheila suddenly starts talking, but sounds like she's narrating the scene in their living room. Sheila speaks and says, he looked at her with deep intensity. Guy raises his eyebrows confused and says, Sheila? She ignores him but goes on to say, she knew exactly what he wanted to say. Guy pauses and looks at her and says, Sheila, why are you narrating everything we do? Sheila again ignores him and goes on to say, Sheila struggled to answer Guy's question. So Guy says, oh my God, snap out of it. Sheila again ignores him and says, Sheila felt like she was losing it. She continued to narrate and freak Guy out at the same time. He tried to ignore her and just said, Sheila, get it together. She stops narrating, opens her eyes, blinks, and looks at him and says, I'm sorry. She turns to Guy. What did you say? What the hell is the matter with you? And she closes her eyes and starts rocking back and forth, silently mumbling to herself again. He looks at her with horror, but tries to play it off by saying, What are you saying? She stops rocking, then just lays down on the couch immediately and falls asleep. He stares at her a minute and then says, okay. Confused, he slowly walks into the kitchen and makes some ramen and chicken fingers. It wasn't a gourmet meal by far, but hey, it was their first apartment and they were still adjusting to the whole grown-up thing, which included grocery shopping. While he watched his food heat up, he got a text from his friend asking about Sheila and asking if they were going to come back out and Pokemon hunt. He said, no way, man. Went back to watching his food heat up. He grabs his food, grabs a Coke. Plate in hand, turns to go to the table when he stops and almost runs right into his girlfriend who was standing in the middle of the kitchen. Her eyes were closed. She just stood there. So he breaks the silence by saying, hey honey, you scared me. You feeling any better? Just then she started silently mumbling to herself again. So he sets his Coke and plate on the counter, slowly leans in to try to figure out what she's saying to herself. Hey honey, I can't understand you. What are you saying? She continues to mumble to herself, but he still can't understand what she's saying. Fear and impatience takes over and he says, just tell me what you're saying. Suddenly Sheila, eyes still closed, increases the volume from silent to soft whisper so he can at least make out what she's saying to herself. Over and over and over again, she's repeating the phrase,